How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. We've got a lot of news to get through today. Last video I set you a 500 like challenge. We're currently at 491 likes. I'm pretty sure by the end of today we will have hit 500 likes on that video, so a massive well done. We're going to set another 500 likes for this video because we have some great news to get through. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you want to support me further, you can do that through my YouTube membership. You can do that through my Patreon. You can do that through YouTube Super Thanks, among other means. But simply dropping a like and subscribing is a free way to show your support to what I'm doing. In my next video, I'm going to be talking to you about a massive opportunity that's come my way. And hopefully I can rely on all of your support in order to be there when I need you, and hopefully I can rely on all your support because it's thanks to you that I'm getting this opportunity. So I want to say a massive thank you. More on that in the next video, but now let's talk about these posts that we have today. So Starfield has released a new update. You can see here from the Bethesda link, added the ability to eat the food placed in the world. So that's kind of cool. You can literally just see something and eat it. You don't just have to pick it up. Adjusted stealth to be a bit more forgiving. This was always a problem, so it's good that that's been fixed. Fixed an issue where Andrea's head would stay permanently cloaked. Fixed an issue that could prevent players from firing their weapons. I've never experienced that, but apparently it was an issue. Fixed issues where some NPCs could be seen not wearing clothes. That was hilarious. I thought that was a feature, to be fair. Fixed an issue where already in progress skill challenges could stop progressing after reaching the Unity and starting a new game. Okay, that's actually a big bug. Fixed an issue that could temporarily prevent opening the inventory or saving after entering Unity. Again, these are really big issues. For PC, they fixed an issue where mouse movement could be choppy. Fixed a rare issue that could have caused a home ship to be lost. Ooh. Fixed an issue where the ship services technician might be missing. Okay, so there's a bunch of fixes there for Starfield. Don't forget you have the community update as well if you want to apply that. It doesn't add any terms of like balance passes, but it does fix a bunch of stuff that still hasn't been fixed here, that is fixed over there, and is just a general quality of life update and pretty damn sweet. So on this next story, we've got Windows Central talking about Xbox and Bethesda's Wolfenstein developer Machines Games expanding with a second studio in Sweden. So a brand new studio is being developed. So a brand new studio is coming to the Xbox family. It is going to be part of Machine Games. They are expanding. Currently, Machine Games is working on an Indiana Jones game. Now, here's the facts that you need to know. And they say, founded in 2009 and acquired by ZeniMax Media, the parent company of publisher Bethesda Software, Machine Games is a studio headquartered in Uppsala, Sweden. Machine Games developed titles include the Wolfenstein games, starting with Wolfenstein's New Order in 2014, as well as making additional campaigns for the recent Quake remasters. Machine Games is expanding with a second studio located in Sundsvall, Sweden, which is expected to be fully staffed in 2025. So we probably won't be seeing any games coming out of this studio until I'd say 2027, 2028. But a new studio is always good. It shows that internally what they're doing is good. They are working well. They have a lot of projects, and that in turn gives them a good P&L, enough to basically expand within their means and broaden their horizons, able to work on more projects. This is always a good thing, and as it says here again, Machine Games is currently working on Indiana Jones. Now, Jerk Gustafsson says, as a game developer, you are always on the lookout for new talent. Opening a satellite office in northern Sweden gives us the opportunity to recruit from the large crowd of experienced developers who are in the region and who may not have the opportunity to move to our head office in Uppsala. So they're basically talent hunting and trying to find the right people for the right job. And as we see down here, analysis, great news. Big games are taking more and more resources to create, so having a second office to recruit additional talent makes perfect sense. It will be interesting to see how this new team at Machine Games is organized. Will the studio throw additional workforce, all at the same project or try to tackle more than one game at once. If it's the latter, come on, Wolfenstein 3, we're waiting for you. So it's going to be interesting to see if this is actually a support studio or a standalone kind of studio where they make their own games, their own, So instead of having the main studio making one game at a time, now that they've expanded, they can actually do 2 or 3 games simultaneously. That's always an option. Or what they can do is try to speed up development by providing support to the main studio with development on certain aspects that can basically help, speed up development by, say, 3 months, 6 months, which means we get games a lot earlier, which means great news for gamers, right? Anyway, that's the news. Good to see that Microsoft is still expanding within itself and opening new studios. That is always good to see because that shows healthy development, healthy studios. On to the next story. So, on to the next story, and we have over here Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, we know Grand Theft Auto 6 is getting a trailer during the first week of December, so everyone's assuming it's going to be at Video Games Awards. So that's pretty much going to steal the limelight from everything. But as games are becoming more demanding, and this game is supposed to be pretty much up there as one of the best graphically looking games of all time. It's cost somewhere between $1 and $2 billion to make, the most expensive game ever made. There's a real chance that this game, when it does land 2024-25, could actually be running at 30 FPS on both the PS5 and the Series X. I know Colt Eastwood here is just asking that question, but the reality is it's a very big possibility that this can happen. The question is, if it is 30 FPS locked on PS5 and Series X, will you buy it? Or will you turn up your nose and say, nope, I don't care if it's Grand Theft Auto 6 or the most anticipated game in the world. If it doesn't have 60 FPS, I'm out. Love to hear your thoughts. I expect there's going to be a performance mode on this, and maybe even performance mode is going to run at 40 FPS for those VRR capable TVs out there to push it above. Who knows how they're going to actually go about it, but it is said that this game is pretty much pushing all boundaries, pretty much what we expected Cyberpunk 2077 to do, but this one is, with 1 to 2 billion in investment, I think they're going to go all out. Of course, there's also the notion that this could be the first game to push up the standard cost of the game. Currently, we're paying £70 here in the UK, but I've been hearing that, the price could start from £90 or even £150. Would you still be interested in buying Grand Theft Auto 6 at £90 or £150 for the standard edition, not the deluxe or ultimate edition or the one that gives you 3 days early access, which, let's face it, is going to be the one everyone buys anyway? So let me know what you think in the comment section below. This one is actually big news. Shinobi602 says Warner Brothers will focus more on live service games going forward. Our focus is on transforming our biggest franchises, Batman Arkham Asylum, from largely console and PC based with 3-4 year release schedules to include more always-on gameplay through live services, multi-platform and free-to-play extensions, with the goal to have more players spending more time on more platforms. Ultimately, we want to drive engagement and monetization of longer cycles and at higher levels. We have put specific capabilities. We are currently under scale and see significant opportunity to generate greater post-purchase revenue. And this is from the CEO, David Zaslav, Q3 earnings call. Now, this is actually pretty damn sweet. Now, this is actually kind of scary because I know I've been waiting for another Batman Arkham series game because I'm such a big fan of their games. But this really does indicate that that may not be a possibility. That may just be a thing of the past. And unfortunately, that could be really detrimental to Warner Brothers. We've seen what's happened with Sony when they tried to focus on live service games. They've pretty much collapsed in terms of internal studios, morale, everything really. things really didn't go their way. So this is a very, very risky business and a very risky venture that Warner Brothers is trying to go into. I get live service games is everyone's wet dream, because at the end of the day, if you manage to land one, it will pretty much sustain you for the next 10 years or more. Just look at the likes of Fortnite, Destiny. No matter what you say, people are still buying those games, playing those games, and going through those microtransaction stores like there's no tomorrow. So when it comes to, publishers, a live service, a well-respected, well-received live service game is everyone, it's their wet dream. And it seems like Warner Brothers now is really going to make a push for that. And I really hope that they don't ruin their single-player franchises with that in mind. We already saw what happened to Avengers. The single player on that was actually pretty damn decent, but the multiplayer was god-awful. And hopefully we just don't get another repeat of that. So, Alan Pierce came out saying, imagine announcing this in a year where the games industry has laid off 6,000 plus people. I will never play any game that InWorld has any part in making. Now, for those of you that don't know, Microsoft has partnered with InWorld. They are an AI-capable company to help make their games. Now, the problem here is when you look at God of War Ragnarok, which Eleanor worked on, at least from what I understand she worked on, that was riddled with AI tools being used in order to work. So there's some hypocrisy there already. But at the same time, we've got Gaz here saying AAA budgets are so out of control that new studios only get a one chance to release a AAA game. If it fails, they fold. This is very true. With the cost and demand for AAA gaming, it's so high right now, and the bar is set so high that if you want to break through into that field and your game fails, there's a high chance you're going to fold. Just look at the Callisto Protocol. The sales were nowhere near expected. They didn't even make, enough to cover the cost of the game. And I think, 60-70% of their staff were laid off. The studio pretty much got gutted. So it's a very risky business to make a AAA video game in this day and age. So having those AI tools there to aid in development, to keep those costs down, in my opinion, is actually beneficial and could retain staff rather than not. Because if the overall cost of the game is reduced, it means the chances of you actually making profit are increased. Of course, then there's the AI will replace the workers, but that's a bridge that you'll have to cross eventually as it becomes, once they start using it, it becomes mainstream or not mainstream, or is how I see it being used as a tool to enhance what you can do right now. AI could potentially mitigate those costs. Devs could also be empowered to create more for less. This is what I'm talking about. The AAA space is defunct of creativity. This could enhance AA. Again, really good points here. I think it's a really, really powerful point, and I think Gaz is on the right track here. I think he has pretty much nailed it on the head. It's as long as the AI is used, to empower the devs and not replace the devs, I think this will be a fantastic thing. Elon Musk obviously has been in the news again, this time PlayStation having come out of the actual Twitter space. Basically, originally Microsoft pulled out Twitter from the Xbox platform after Elon Musk raised the API cost to around $45,000. Sony said, no, we will honor this and we will soldier through. We care for the players. And then 5 months later, they said, nope, we don't care for the players. We like our money. Screw the players. Twitter's coming off. The problem is a lot of people like to share their stuff on Twitter. They like to, post their videos, post their pictures, and going through the app is inconvenient. And for some people, it's just going to stop them sharing altogether, stop them, engaging with Twitter altogether. So this is, again, a bad thing for, Elon Musk and his whole X sphere to try and get more people to join in and post. So he's saying now that he'll look into Xbox and PlayStation's decision to remove integrated X Twitter sharing directly from the console. I think he's going to come up with a plan that works for them, and hopefully that will reintegrate it. But with Xbox now already pushing past that and going into OneDrive and maybe allowing you to post from OneDrive to the actual Twitter sphere. I haven't tried it yet myself personally. It may already be too late, but hopefully they can come to a resolution, because I know a lot of people would rather use Twitter or X to share their stuff just directly through the console. Since the launch, it's been very convenient on both, and it's a shame that it's no longer there. Jaywood here is celebrating Mario Wonders, which released, to pretty amazing sales. In 2 weeks, it has done 4.3 million units, and it's become the fastest selling Super Mario game of all time. Pretty damn sweet, and it's only going to continue to sell more as more and more people pick up Super Mario Wonders. It is just one of those things. People love Mario. The games don't lose value. So unlike other games that may start selling well at the beginning, they're going to depreciate in value quite quickly. Nintendo games don't. So even if this was like a 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, 8 million sales, that price point will pretty much remain on point. So they're going to be making bank. And, well done to Nintendo for another successful release. They have pretty much almost hardly ever released a stinker, which is pretty impressive for what that console is. Good job. Finally, we get to see Marvel Spider-Man 2. We heard originally that it sold 2.5 or 2.4 million units. Now they have hit over 5 million copies in 11 days. That is pretty impressive. And we can see Ginger Prime here saying congrats to Insomniac and Sony on the success of Spider-Man 2, selling over 5 million copies. Absolutely outstanding. Also, congratulations to Nintendo with Super Mario Wonder selling 4.3 million copies. What a great time to be a gamer. And, you've got IGN here. Naturally, IGN. Good job, IGN. Parading that fanboyism, biasness. I mean, it's new, so I'll let them have this one. But the reality is, if it was an Xbox game that sold 5 million, it would have been, oh my god, it's only sold 5 million? What is this? What happened to all those platforms out there? But, the narrative would be different. But you know what? Well done to Insomniac Games. They've released, their 7th patch now to fix the game, and they're still fixing it. So, at least the stories about the bugs not being there is, that's now a myth, because you can't release 7 patches to fix broken stuff, right? But, 5 million in 11 days is still a massive achievement. And, well, even if their console base is 50 million, 5 million is 5 million. Right. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. We do have another 500 like challenge for you. Don't forget to subscribe. It really means the world to me. You can further support the channel through my Patreon or YouTube membership, or we should have that now active, Super Thanks, which you can directly thank me for the video if you so choose to. But like I said, none of that is required. A simple like and a subscribe goes a long way. And in my next video, I am going to be talking about an opportunity that's come my way, a sponsorship deal, and hopefully I can rely on all of you to help me out, support me in this, because these are the sorts of opportunities that don't come around often, but when they do, you want to have a good impact, a good reception. So that said, thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.